hope everybody's doing well. Coming to you from the Trost house again. Good to see everybody, even if it's virtually. Today I wanted to do a lesson about who our King is. You know, we're in Lent, and Lent is a great time of reflection, and I thought it would be a really good time to kind of reflect on why we have a king, why do we need a king, and a kind of a fun little activity that we did was a coloring book. And I will post a link to this coloring book that you guys can print out at home. It doesn't necessarily have to just be for kids, because I did some coloring on here too. It's sort of a shared family activity. Tom did too, Aaron, Jamie, so we all did it. But this is just a little very, very basic, simple book that we're gonna make. And it says my gospel. You can just see it's just pretty simple. Well, the next page talks about who is my king. Okay, so anybody can reflect on this. Again, any age, it doesn't matter. You can reflect on who your king is. Is it the world? Is it you? Are you the center of your universe? Is it your friends? So it's something to kind of think about. Like, what do you consider your king? What is your priority? What is your, who do you listen to? Who, that kind of thing. So in the coloring pages, there's boy ones and girl ones. So you guys can see both of them. So we've got both. You don't have to print them out. If you're making these, if you're a boy, get a boy. If you're a girl, get a girl. So you don't have to do that. But we did both because we have, males and females in the home. And so it's something to ponder and think about, like, who is your king? I don't know. I think we all have different interpretations of who our king is, right? Why do we need a king? So the next page in our book here that we're creating talks about why we need a king. I am weak. I am afraid. I am prone to being selfish. I am lost. I make mistakes. I have strong enemies. I'm alone. So these are all things that we think about, right? And if you can think of in the world today, we're kind of in this really weird place with COVID, right? So we're still quarantining, and you're probably sitting here going, what do I do now? Like, this is so different than normal. So you might be afraid, you might feel weak, you might be scared, you might feel alone. So these are all really good reasons why we all might need a king. So then moving on is sort of our next page here talks about who makes a good king. And as we're sort of reflecting on who makes a good king, we can think about Jesus, right? All the stories we've been told and things that we've learned over the years makes him a great king, a good person to follow. So the questions to ask is, what makes Jesus the best king? His power to overcome my sin. Jesus died on the cross for us, right? He died for us in our sins. His wisdom to guide me. We hear that, again, as I had said earlier, we hear the stories that his stories that have been shared generations to generations and years and years and years. And his victory over Satan. So good over evil, right? So those are all good reasons to follow Jesus. And then, again, as we're thinking here through the Lenten season, what are good ways to follow Jesus? So sort of our last coloring page here talks about loving him and obeying his commands. So if you kind of think about different things that you could do, there's lots of things, right? You guys can have a Zoom pray group. You can watch these virtual videos that we put up for you all. You can watch a virtual church. You can do it as a family. That's what we do. We always do church as a family on Sunday mornings, and it's not an option. I know that we're in this weird time, but for us, it's not an option. We get together, we watch our church service, and praying before your meals is another way to follow Jesus. Sharing his word with others is another way to follow Jesus. So there's a lot of different ways that we can, follow the ways of Jesus. And that's what I think that we should do this Lenten season, is figure out, we've spent a year in this weird stage, and I think we've all been in a position where we're sort of questioning what's normal and what normal's going to look like. And, you know, if we can kind of think of what the constants are, Jesus is a constant in our life, right? So however that looks to you, again, watching the virtual services, watching these Sunday school videos that we put up, talking with your family about Jesus, praying as a family, praying with your friends, all of that stuff is all bringing Jesus into your world and keeping him in your world, whether we're going into Jesus's house, you know, into the church, or we're doing it from home. We still need to make sure that we keep Jesus a priority, and that is a priority, and that we do follow him as our king. And, you know, whether church is there or not, we do need to find ways to make sure that we always keep Jesus as a king in our lives. So, you know, kind of just going back through our book here. Who is the king? Are you the king of your world? Probably you're the king of your world, right? But there's still someone higher and a better being than you. So as long as we can remember that we have our friends who are great and wonderful people in our lives, but we still want Jesus above them, right? And we love ourselves, we love our friends, but ultimately we have to love Jesus. And I think this Lenten season, I think that's a really great thing for us to ponder and see what better ways we can work on and to follow Jesus and follow his ways. So my little homework for everybody is to do that, and the adults too. You know what? Go do something different. Go do something fun. It's cold outside. Go get some colored pencils, markers, or crayons. Make your own gospel coloring book. Coloring's not just for kids. It's actually pretty therapeutic, and it's kind of fun. Print out your pages. There's 5 pages, 4 if you do the boy or the girl, and make your own little book up. And you know, you could refer to it. You can go back and refer to it with your children if the parents of those the younger children, like Erin, can't read. So I had to kind of go through it with her and tell her, what did this mean? What did this mean? And you know, go through it like that, and just take some time and talk about Jesus. Bring him back in your lives, and you know, really reflect on why you follow Jesus, how you follow Jesus, and what better things you can do to follow Jesus during this Lenten season. So that's it. It's a short, sweet lesson this week. And again, I hope you're all doing very, very well. Excuse me. So we're looking forward to the days we can all be together again. Hopefully a Park and Pray will be here in the warmer weather. So everybody stay safe, and hope to see everyone virtually soon, if not in person at the Park and Pray services. Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining me.